Tyra Banks, the iconic supermodel, entrepreneur, and television personality, recently opened up about a tragic loss that deeply affected her and her family. In an emotional interview on January 20th, during her appearance on Australia's Sunrise, Banks shared that her home had been destroyed in the devastating wildfires that have impacted parts of Australia. This news came as a shock to both her and her partner, businessman Bélanger-Martin, who were in Australia at the time. The pair, who spend significant time in the country when they're not residing in the US, were left reeling by the news of the destruction. Despite the immense personal impact of the loss, Banks chose to keep a low profile initially, feeling that her loss paled in comparison to the hardships faced by many others affected by the fires. The supermodel acknowledged that she had been reluctant to discuss the tragedy publicly, recognizing that there were countless others who had experienced even more significant losses. "I feel like there's a lot of people that need that attention, so I haven't really talked about it," Banks explained in the interview. "But I can't sit here and not tell the truth that, yeah, we lost our house." Her voice, filled with emotion, conveyed the rawness of the moment, and she reflected on how her own personal grief was now entwined with the ongoing suffering of others. Banks went on to explain that she and Lewis divide their time between New York and Australia, which meant that much of their personal belongings were not in the house at the time of the fire. While this likely spared them from some of the deeper material losses, it didn't diminish the pain of losing precious memories and irreplaceable mementos. For Banks, like many others, it's not just the physical structure of a home that makes it meaningful, but the memories and objects that define one's life, relationships, and history. Some of these objects were destroyed in the fire, and their loss has left her feeling disheartened. The wildfires in Australia have been devastating, with thousands of homes destroyed and countless lives disrupted. For those who live in the affected areas, the fires have brought unimaginable destruction, with entire communities being displaced. The damage is not limited to just homes and possessions, but also to the environment and wildlife that Australia is known for. While Tyra Banks is certainly not the only person to suffer in this crisis, her willingness to share her experience sheds light on the very real emotional and personal toll the wildfires have taken on many. Tyra Banks is no stranger to adversity, having built a successful career that has included her iconic role as the host of America's Next Top Model, her ventures in the fashion industry, and her impact as a trailblazer in the world of modeling. However, like so many others, she too is vulnerable to the devastating forces of nature that have impacted Australia. Her openness about this hardship has resonated with many, showing that even those who seem untouchable can face loss and pain. Banks' willingness to be vulnerable and share her experience serves as a reminder that in times of crisis, the power of compassion and shared understanding can help to heal even the deepest wounds. Tyra Banks is not alone in her loss. Across the globe, communities have been coming together to offer support and comfort to those impacted by the wildfires. Efforts to rebuild and recover are underway, but the road to recovery will be long. Banks, like many others, will need time to process the emotional impact of this event. However, her decision to speak out about the tragedy is a powerful statement, one that reinforces the importance of honesty, transparency, and emotional expression in times of crisis. Through her vulnerability, she reminds the world that it's okay to grieve, to feel pain, and to seek help when needed. While Banks' story is one of personal loss, it also speaks to the broader issue of climate change and the increasing severity of natural disasters. The wildfires that ravaged parts of Australia are part of a larger pattern of extreme weather events that have become more frequent and intense in recent years. As the global community grapples with the effects of climate change, it is clear that the impacts of these natural disasters are felt not just by individuals, but by entire nations and ecosystems. In the wake of the fires, many have called for greater attention to be paid to climate change mitigation and adaptation. Tyra Banks, through her platform and her willingness to speak out, can play a role in raising awareness about these important issues. By using her voice to advocate for change, she can help to inspire others to take action in addressing the root causes of environmental destruction. While Tyra Banks' loss is undoubtedly painful, it is also a story of resilience, strength, and the power of community. In the face of hardship, Banks has chosen to share her experience, not for sympathy, but to remind others that they are not alone in their struggles. Her openness has the potential to offer comfort and solidarity to those who are also coping with the aftermath of the fires, and to encourage people to come together to support one another during these difficult times. As the recovery process continues in Australia, the world watches closely, offering support and assistance to those in need. The wildfires have left a lasting impact on the country, but the resilience of the Australian people and the solidarity shown by the global community offer hope for the future. Tyra Banks, though grieving her personal loss, is an example of how even in the darkest times, the strength to move forward can be found in shared experiences, collective support, and the belief that, together, we can rebuild. Through her emotional revelation, Banks is contributing to a larger conversation about loss, resilience, and the need for continued action on climate change. By sharing her own journey, she is providing a voice to those who may not have the platform to speak out, and reminding us all of the importance of coming together to heal, support one another, and work towards a more sustainable future. The road ahead for Tyra Banks and her partner will undoubtedly be challenging as they process their loss and work towards rebuilding their home and their lives. However, with the support of her loved ones and the global community, they will find the strength to move forward. In times of tragedy, it is the bonds we share with one another that help to guide us through, and Tyra Banks' story is a testament to the power of human connection in the face of adversity.